What's up, everyone? Welcome to Notezz and welcome to part third of our ReactJs series, in which we will continue our ReactJs genre. So, in the previous video, we have discussed by creating a simple project these five different features, these five different technologies. And today we will jump on to the very first question, that why ReactJs? Okay. So the very first problem which ReactJS solve is that it is a SPA. Now SPA stands for single page applications, and single page application experience is way much better than the traditional web application experience. Okay, so if I click on traditional website, we have discussed this concept in the previous video, that whenever the client requests any page, so the server serves that HTML page to the client, which is our web browser. So client sends the request. In response, server again sends the HTML file. Then our client, which is our browser, will resolve all the HTML links, and then we'll see that if the HTML is having any associated style sheets or JavaScript, and if there are some, so the client will again request for JavaScript files and those associated style sheets, and then it will serve the page to you. And again, if somehow user navigates to another page, the same process repeats again. We again request for HTML file, and again we resolve the HTML links. If there are some JavaScript or associated style sheets, we again request them from the server. So in this traditional websites, we are very much dependent on our server side. Everything is being served from the server side. But if I go again back to my markdown, so React is a concept library which gives us the concept of SPA. SPA stands for single page application. Now what single page application does is, if I click on single page application, so this is the diagram of a single page application. So what happens is that only one time the client requests HTML file and associated JavaScript file. Now the very first HTML file and the JavaScript file contains all the code which the client needs. Okay, so if somehow the user navigates to another page, everything, the routing, the navigation, every other concept is being handled by the client side JavaScript. This is the JavaScript which is requested for the first time when we load the URL. Okay, so the client requests the HTML file, we get the JavaScript file, and that's it. Now this JavaScript file is when we work with React, it's a bundled JavaScript file. So in case of React, the bundled file, which is this JavaScript, bundled JavaScript, is only served once to the client, and that's it. We don't make any other additional request, whether user navigates or perform any operations. We are totally dependent on our client side. So this is the concept of SPA, single page application. Now in case of single page application, everything depends on client side. That is a plus, because we are removing a lot of load from our server side, which is our web server. Okay, so that's the concept of SPA. Let's move on to ReactJS. This is one of the main advantage of ReactJS. Second is that React is very much faster due to virtual DOM. Now virtual DOM is a concept in ReactJS. If I click on this, I have a complete markdown of what virtual DOM is in ReactJS. Now the virtual DOM concept came with ReactJS. Before that, we were having one of the biggest disadvantage of real DOM. So let's say that we want to update some element and its inner value. Okay, so what happens is that the browser will parse HTML to find that node with that given ID. Then it will remove that element and its child element from the DOM. Then it will update the element with the updated value, which is this updated value, and then it will recalculate the CSS which will be affected by changing this value, and again it will calculate it for our parent and child nodes, and then it will update the layout, and finally again it will traverse the tree and paint everything which has been changed on the screen. Okay, so it is quite a lengthy process of updating a DOM. Okay, so if I go to this single line, we are just updating the inner text, and for updating just the inner text, we have to perform all these steps to update our DOM. So this is the biggest disadvantage of our real DOM. So what React did, React took a different approach. They created a virtual DOM. Now virtual DOM is something which you will be understanding through this diagram. Okay, so virtual DOM is just a copy of the real DOM, which is not displayed over the browser, but it exists in the memory. Okay, so here you can see that manipulating DOM is slow, but manipulating the virtual DOM is fast. Now virtual DOM, manipulating the virtual DOM is fast because it exists only in the memory, but it is not painted over the DOM. Okay, so that's the overall concept. So what React does is that React will, will keep a copy of the actual DOM, and whenever something updated, it will create another virtual DOM. Okay, and then it will compare this updated virtual DOM with the previous DOM, and it will see that what are the changes which have been made. Now since we have only made one change, so it will find out all the possible ways, all the best possible ways through which it can update this actual DOM, and it will just go to this node and will update and repaint, and rest of the parent and children will remain the same. So this is the concept of virtual DOM. Okay, so virtual DOM just compares with the previous DOM, previous virtual DOM, see that how things have changed, and after that it will find the best possible ways to make the changes to the real DOM. So that's the overall concept of virtual DOM, and this is the only concept which makes React so much faster. So if I go back to my React.js, so this is the point we have discussed. It's fast due to virtual DOM. The third point is obviously it's a library. So since it's a library, it's lightweight, and you will get just a minified bundle.js file which will not be huge, and you can easily make your application much faster due to its lightweight nature. So one of the best things about React is that React is a library, so it's very flexible. Obviously you can use other packages with it, other libraries with it, which are your favorite ones, you can use easily. For example, I like to use Axios for sending REST requests to our backend servers through REST API, so we can use Axios for that. And if you have any other packages, or you love any other packages, so you can use that package with the React.js library. Now it's developer friendly. The reason it's developer friendly is because it breaks things into smaller components. Okay, so we can every developer can work on a smaller component of an application. Now this concept will be very much cleared ahead when we discuss that what components are in React and how we use components and combine components to make a bigger application. So it's developer friendly because we can break smaller components, and on every component a single developer can easily work. So that's a developer friendly environment which React provides us. And on number 6, again, React is most popular. It's backed by Facebook, and again it's having a good community support, and that's a plus that which comes with React.js. Okay, so again there are not much cons with this, but I would like to discuss only one point, which is again this flexibility one. Okay, so since it's flexible, obviously there is a con with it, that we have to use third-party packages for getting things done. Obviously React is not a framework, it's a library, so for completing and fulfilling all of our needs, we have to use some of the libraries which we have to install and get things work done. Okay, so it's not a complete package. So that's one of the cons I think that is with the React. Now it can be a con, it can be a pro, depending on the developer mindset. I think that it's flexible, so we can use other packages, but there are people who like complete packages, complete frameworks to work with that. And in that case, I think Angular is way ahead with respect to React.js, because Angular is a complete framework. It provides majority of the things we need for the front end web development. So these are just the pros and cons of React.js, why we need React.js, and what are the benefits that which React provides us. In the coming on video, we will I think there has been a lot of theoretical concepts throughout the series, so in the next coming on video we'll jump right to our very first React project, and we will start our journey with React by understanding all the fundamental concepts which comes with React.js. So I hope you liked the video. If you're liking my content, so do like and subscribe the channel. In the coming on videos we will jump to our very first project, React.js. Thanks for watching.